What is up, everybody? It's episode 6 of Wassup, Flobo, the visual podcast talk to fireside chat thing that I'm doing. I don't know how long I'm doing it. My brain is telling me just go until I tell you when to stop. But then I stumbled over the YouTube monetization rules, and I was like, wow, not necessarily I'm doing this for money, but I'm like, there's actually channels out there that have people that are I subscribe a thousand subscribers and 8,000 hours of people watching your content. That really put it in perspective. Like that's now like a preliminary goal to get people to watch 8,000 minutes of me. Monetization aside, I'm doing this for fun. I love getting my name out there. I love getting my word out there. There's so many things I work on, and it's always great to share it with you. Episode 6, I'm recording this live the day after Christmas. Looking at my watch, it's not even on my wrist. That's how awkward I am. December 26th. And I had a plan today for this episode. In fact, I wouldn't even want to record one, but when I had the inspiration strikes, what's cool about YouTube and setting things up, it takes like 5 minutes. Yeah, my webcam's there, my mic is there, and I'm in my bedroom, but there's nothing like, there's no lighting. It's all natural light. I don't have to like shave my beard a certain way. You get what you get. But the crux of today's episode, the idea, I was off my morning jog. I was like, man, I talked about how New Year's Day is very, very important to me. Let's talk about what goals I have for the year. And I was like, well, man, I don't think I can do that in 5 to 7 minutes. That's really the goal, is do these in like 10 minutes or less. What about the goals for being a DJ? And I was like, oh, that's great. But then I thought about it and I said, well, there's people out there that have yet to even know that I DJ. So before I can even pop in and talk about the DJing jobs and the goals I have for it and the challenges and all that, I really want to do a bit of a primer, right? Because I don't know how many episodes I'm doing. Maybe I'm doing 1,000 of these. This would be helpful. If I'm doing 6 episodes and this is it, then it's kind of dumb. So I got my coffee here, getting myself all caffeinated, it being 2 o'clock in the afternoon local time, to really drill down about how I fell into being a DJ and the challenges that's come with that, and adding that to your resume, something that was a career. I mean, it's definitely the main job now besides comedy I work on, but it's something I wouldn't have said 5 years ago. It wasn't even on my map about falling into things that just come across, I think in 2015, right? Let's go back before then. In 2005, at my college radio station, WFCF, Radio with a Reason, or it's top of the hour. You know what that means. It's WFCF St. Augustine, Palatka. I was a radio DJ. I was a radio DJ for Flagler College Radio, 10,000 watts, Class B tower. It was amazing. And that's something I got to learn with running the time, something I got to learn about picking and selecting songs, something I got to learn with taking requests and how to fold that into stuff. That was really my first exposure with DJing actively. I grew up in New York in the 90s where hip hop was the culture, if I can be so bold. But I thought that was like the art and craft of the gods. My cousin was a DJ, and I remember the Saturdays of him, my older brother, loading up the truck with his crates upon albums and going out there and saying, oh, I have to rebuy this album because the vinyl's warped, or I had to replace my needles because this, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many parts, moving things, forget it, But so the time I was in college, CDs were the de rigueur, the du jour or whatever. So learning to mix songs and have a cohesive show, it was amazing. College radio had 4 formats: rock, alternative, classical, and jazz. And so my senior year at Flagler College, what I did was I requested dead air. I requested 2 hours on Saturday from 10 to midnight. And I said, give me that dead air, but let me do whatever I want. And they said, all right, because the tower was turning off anyway, like let's do it. And it became like this really like eclectic show. I recorded my final episode. I wish I recorded more. It was called the Saturday Nights Underground, because the logo was like little like underground logos you see in British tube stations, SNUG, or SNUG for short. And it was a lot of fun. So 2015, this is years past. I went to California for grad school. I was going to be a giant filmmaker. Got signed to Fox, worked on American Idol, X Factor, doing that thing, seeing music from a brand new perspective. And they let me go. 2015 in June, I was told, thank you. We won't be needing your help anymore. Best of luck on your future endeavors. Dang. What do you do? So that summer was pretty hard because now they talk about millennials and their sense of entitlement, but I had 2 college degrees. At that time, I felt I deserved better. So June rolled into July, and then in August, and comedy was there too, but we're not talking about comedy today. And it got to the middle of August, and I said, yeah, pride is not going to pay these bills. I got to do something. And I decided to do 2 things. One, I applied for a local grocery store, delivering groceries to people around the neighborhood as a site called yummy.com, which didn't end the best with them, but it's fine. I like delivering jobs. This is that I serve a very, very rich part of town, so they treat you like the help. And I responded to an ad for an MC position from this entertainment company I won't name here. And it was interesting to me because back in 2011, I was a ring announcer for professional wrestling. And that's pretty much what emceeing is. You control the audience, you get your attention, you announce what's going on next. You say, the only difference is, here is your winner, the champion. I went to this giant office, and it was basically a DJ mill, so to speak. Even though I had advanced MC skills, I wasn't there quite for the shift between CDs and purely digital. And so the company, to the credit, did put an environment where you can come and practice and train you, but training was very, very loose. It was like, hey guys, make sure you know 3 songs from every genre, and this is how you press play. Practice on your own. And I didn't want to be a DJ. I wanted to be an MC, but I realized the hybrid, the DJ MC, is what really gets booked. People don't want to pay another person, usually. 2 separate things. One to DJ the music, one to talk about the music announcements, one to act as the on-site day of coordinator. They want someone to do all 3 if they're trying to go for a budget thing. But anyway, a company did give me the reps I needed. I made a very, very conscious effort to use my free time to practice. I bought a deck for the house. My girlfriend at the time did not like it, but I had it anyway. And the idea was, if I had a free moment, I'll practice. If I was on our way to a gig, I would copy the words, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, or Amber and Louisa together at last, making sure I don't get everyone's name wrong, that kind of thing. And I did that for about a year and a half with that company. I had a falling out, won't go into it because they still operate today. And I was willing to walk away. In May 2017, I was willing to walk away from DJing in total. That's how bad it ended at this larger company. And I was ready just to hang it all up. I was going to hang it all up, and I had a day job at the time. Thankfully, I was paying really well to the point where I didn't need a second job, which is unheard of in Los Angeles and Southern California. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but having one job and being good, that's like having, I don't know, like 3 great hustles at once. So I was willing to hang it up in May 2007. I did. I remember the last wedding I had with that company. It was nice. The couple still follows me on Instagram, and I follow them back. That November, that high-paying job I just mentioned let me go. They cut me loose. They said, sorry, we don't need your help anymore. Hey, we pay you a lot, golden handcuffs, but there's a lot of turnover, so deal with it, bro. And here I was on Thanksgiving Day going, what am I going to do with my life? I thought I was a marketing person. The job was in branding and marketing, and that was where I saw myself. I rolled from film school into a video career, into a copywriting, and then content strategy and brand management. Day job Flobito was going to be a brand manager. But the thing about golden handcuffs is you get used to that environment. To have that cut out under you was like a free-for-all, And I sat one day in December, or no, the last week of November, and I said, I have one monitor speaker and my practice deck in this closet. And I said, all right, we're going to try it. And I got to give credit to a lot of people in the game now. DJ Kara, DJ Jack Farmer especially. He still works in Southern California as DJ. Book him today if I'm not available. That really encouraged me to try and say, look, you're not set the world on fire, but go out there and try to be the best DJ you can. And that first year was rough. I didn't have the content, so a lot of couples, to their credit, won't book you if they don't know what you sound like, what you look like in a suit, nothing. So props to the first couples that gave me the shot that said, hey, look, I can show you some content from the larger company, but I only can show you snippets because their branding's all over it, but I'm not with them anymore. It's my own joint. Please trust me. Where are you going? It's not a scam. I promise you that. And there's a whole other narrative there about being a minority business owner, being a business owner from a person from the West Indian descent. There's a lot of things to say about that, but ultimately starting a business full stop is difficult here. Southern California is pretty fortunate. 50,000 couples a year get married and they need entertainment, but there is a race to the bottom with cost measurements, with pricing and stuff. I didn't realize how venues worked. I walked into a venue and go, hey, I'm DJ Flobito. I want to be a DJ on your personal vendor list. Here's my stuff. Thinking if a venue sees you showing up or a venue sees you hustling to be the one to work with them, they'll work with you. I didn't know about contracts and venues and other vendors having multi-year agreements or multi-property agreements, or the catering company you thought was just a catering company who actually owns buildings, or DJs that don't work as much as you, telling you advice in business, what tactics that, or maybe to sabotage, or the fact that you go to a open house and sign so many brides to hear more information and none of them converse. I'll tell you this, there's times to this day, I'm just like, maybe I should just give this all up. And I had to fellow DJs, fellow creatives out there, everyone out there struggling with something, that is normal. You have to value if your worth is good. You're one of a billion DJs in the world, not to mention wedding DJs in Southern California, wedding DJs. It is a cutthroat competition. I am not going to tell you it's easy. I have not gone through this battle unscathed. There's weeks and months where I go, what am I doing wrong? I only have 2 gigs in the next 3 weeks or something like that. All right, I'm not even getting booked in this off-peak month, but you think that I'll have at least 1 or 2 in there. The thing I've realized that it really is a long haul. So 2017 was that first year where it was like a wake-up call, learning about how to incorporate or be a sole proprietorship, learning about DJ insurance, because most venues have a $1 million or $2 million policy you have to have with you to be compliant. But I will say this, on top of all the struggles, was the couples themselves have been great. From the beginning, having couples rock with me and trust me, even before the reviews started coming in, I always give them credit for that. When the reviews were coming in and someone goes, hey, I saw you do stand-up in this clip or a video, but I really want to rock with you, that's amazing. And now I have enough reviews, so now I can sit back and say, well, not sit back, but I can lean back kind of nervously and say, check this out on Yelp. I've done it before. But no one really tries to hit home how hard it is to start a business. Your friends and family, we think that they're going to be the first ones to buy in, the early adopters. What I've learned is that when you're starting out a business, they've seen you suck. They've seen you struggle. They've seen you make the rookie mistakes. So when you come back around asking for business, it's almost like, well, have you got everything figured out? It's a different kind of vibe altogether. The idea is, forget DJing, for example. Imagine if I was a singer, and I don't care how naturally talented you have to practice. So if you see or heard me practicing my notes in the garage all off key, like me, and then 10 days later, I'm like, hey man, or even on 10 days later, 6 months later, I'm like, here's my album, want to buy it? Friends and family will go, right? So I had to also learn not to take it too harshly when someone goes, you're doing the DJ thing? I thought you were an MC. I thought you were a comedian. I thought you were in a content strategy. I thought you were a novelist. I thought you were a comic book writer. You're DJing too? How's that going to fit in your brand? And you realize I'm of a breed where it's not about branding. It's about a way of life. It's about providing couples. The books and the comedy and the DJing is actually multifaceted parts of the same business. I want to entertain. I want to be able to provide my clients, whoever they may be, the best experience possible. And I can tell you that those 5-star reviews feel good. This is why I get all frustrated when I don't get as enough as I want. When I send out Twitter requests and 3 come back. But the ones that do get back are always 5-star. And you're like, yeah, what I'm doing is worth it. and we're rocking and rolling. So props to the couples that shouted me out. Props to the DJs who are out there and established that gave me a shot and passed me the leads when they can't do the gig. And shout out to myself for sitting there and grinding and being the best DJ I can be. Year 3, a lot of challenges there too. How do you grow the business? How do you put your business in other places? How do you get people to come to you now? Is something that is always going to be part of the long-term strategy, but definitely in year 3, that's something I'm working on too. All that is primer to tell you that DJ Flobito, I'm on Instagram too. The DJ only account is at DJ Flobito if you want to check that out. DJ Flobito has become one of the top brands of Flobo Corp because over time I was able to impart my style into what I offer. I'm not the cheesy DJ like, all right, let's now do this game. I'm not playing all the hits from 25, 30 years ago and staying in a bubble. I'll go old school if you need to. I'll go new school if you want to. I'm truly open format. My announcements are big, but not cheesy large. And one of my things I'm praised about is I'm easily contactable, easily reachable. If you have a question or comment, I respond pretty quickly. And that has been my secret form of success, right? So I'm thinking about you guys out there who are starting their own business or they want to get on YouTube and do their own vlog. That's the keys, man, is to find something that's different, something you love doing, do it repeatedly, and hold yourself accountable. And that's universal for whatever it is that you're working on. Someone tells me one time that I'm an inspiration. I don't think that way. Not to put myself down, because I know there's lots of gigs that get in the car after a gig, like, oh man, that one mix wasn't that great. I could have went back and did that one track better. But I think what I think they mean is the fact that I'm willing to keep on doing it repeatedly, win, lose, or draw. For me, I'm watching the tape, trying to get better. I have a lot to learn. I know the minute you say you have it all, you're knowledgeable, I've been in this business X amount of years, I should do this, then you're already sunk. So, 2020, DJ Flobito. I want to get myself into more venues. I want to get myself with some different kinds of clients, people from all over Southern California. I travel, and hopefully to have more photo ops and show people that actually had their day elevated due to my influence, whether how slight or how intense or hands-on that may be. I want to thank you all for listening to this extended episode of What's Up, Flobo. I promise I'll keep it pretty short, but I was on a roll, baby. I was on one. Check out this episode and all the other episodes right here exclusively on YouTube. My name is Flobo Boyce. You can find me at flobito.com. That's FLOBITO.com. My IG account is at Flobito. My DJ IG account is at DJ Flobito. Follow that, be my friend, reach out, ask questions, appreciate all that stuff. And until then, man, is what's up, Flobo?